Stirring your mind with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the way you think at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, 1 cup of coffee. Perfect. I did not add heated milk to it, just cold, half and half, cream, and a touch of honey. Perfect. It's very warm and humid out right now. I'm sitting here. I should have a fan on me. We went from me wearing hats and fleece pullovers last week to me sweating my you-know-what's off first thing in the morning. Very humid today. But I love her, said William Shatner to Leonard Nimoy. I love her. He told this to Nimoy about his wife before she died of an accidental drowning related to alcohol and Valium use. He came home and she was at the bottom of the pool. He dove in, pulled her out. She was blue, cold, and gone, despite many attempts to revive her. He loved his wife. She was an alcoholic. He loved her. He left her alone. He knew that she was using drugs as well, but he loved her. And she drowned in the pool. But he loved her. Is there someone in your life who is an alcoholic and you love them? And despite your many attempts to save them, they just keep spiraling down. That is one rough place to be. I do not envy your chosen spot. If you do nothing, you're partly at fault. I'll be honest with you. They will not change on their own. They will not change on their own. Some people say, well, they have to hit their bottom. That bottom could be death. Do you want to see your loved one die? Oh, they'll change when they're ready. You're going to be calling the funeral home if you don't do something. They are silently begging for help, and you're sitting there going, well, they'll stop drinking alcohol when they're ready. One of the characteristics of alcoholism is they don't know enough to stop when they're ready. That's the delusion of alcoholism. Oh, they have to hit their bottom. Are you ready to bury them? How much do you really love them?
Maybe it's you that are too fucking lazy to do something about it. Maybe you're battling your own fucking demons.
You were put in their life to help save them. And I'm not talking about Captain Save-A-Ho or white knighting for somebody. But maybe you are the change that they need. But they'll change when they're ready. Shame on you. You are sitting on a gold mine of information. And you're thinking, me? Yes, you. That gold mine is this. Is your unique perspective and way of doing things is different than anyone else. The way you garden, the way you put on makeup, the way you do your hair, the way you organize, the way you cook, the way you shop, the way you economize, the way you dress, the way you pair things, whatever any of those things are, is unique to you. Somehow, some way, if I sat down with you for 1 hour, I could show you how you are unique and could capitalize on that. You are unique. Your biggest problem is that you don't think you have anything to offer the world of value. But you do, because you're unique. Your DNA is different than everyone else's on Earth. Everyone else's. Which means that you do some things a little bit different than everyone else. Everything that you do is influenced by your DNA. When you stop following the crowds, when you get off of social media, your uniqueness comes through. All these other things kind of homogenize you, just throw you into a big pot of white, of black, of female, of male, a big pot where it's all one. Break away from the stew. You are unique, you are different, and you can capitalize on that. Don't make me tell you again. I'm here to make you money. If you want a friend, get a dog. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Some say he's the biggest prick in the world, but you know what? I think he's made more money for people than any of the other sharks, if I'm not mistaken. You can love someone and not want to marry them. You can marry someone and not love them. 2 facts. I took a poll. I made a statement and I said, never let a serious fill in the blank go to waste. 57% said crisis, 30% said thought, 7% said Nibiru, and 6% said beta male. Never let a serious crisis go to waste. Every great leader has said that at one time or another. Even perverted, twisted, deranged leaders have said that. Anyone who gets within 50 feet of Joni Mitchell immediately falls in love with her. Stephen Stills in 1969. Did you know that she wrote the song Woodstock? The song that Crosby, Stills, and Nash did. She mesmerized a lot of guys back in that day. There was something about her. When you watch Joni Mitchell live, there was something about her. I can't put my finger on it, but I see it when I watch her live performances in 1969 and 1970. And then as she became more mainstream, I don't want to say she lost it, but she didn't have that same thing that she had back in the late 60s, up to about 1970. Just look up any live concert with Joni Mitchell. This past weekend, someone approached 16-year-old Darnell Fisher about 10:05 p.m., shot him in the arm and in the chest. The boy was taken to University of Chicago Medical Center, pronounced dead. The shooter was never found. His name was Darnell. You would never know his name unless I told you. His name was Darnell. His name is Darnell. And he was precious in God's eyes. Say it with me. His name is Darnell. One more time. His name is Darnell. He's probably getting buried today, I would imagine. But his name is Darnell. No one covered it. There was no video cameras, nothing. His name was Darnell. And he was precious in God's sight. It takes a little combination of determination and courage to wear colors, when the world in your tradition tells you to wear colors of mourning, colors of black. Only you know when it's time to shed the black and wear colors. Time by itself does not heal. Time plus insight, talking about it, working through emotions, is the combination that heals. But you can have pain and confusion for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, the rest of your life, if you don't deal with it. Time does not heal. Time does not heal. Time plus dealing with it heals. This is not a black person bashing channel. This is not a cop bashing channel. I'm sorry to disappoint many of you. I don't do that. I won't do that. There's good cops, there's bad cops. Yesterday, I brought forth an extremely rational way of looking at the Minneapolis situation, and that is wait until all the facts are put out there and then render a decision. Otherwise, it's mob rule. I had to delete and block many people yesterday who were just living by their emotions. White people, white knighting for blacks. Black people writing me saying the streets are rough And I stand with you, and I'm thinking, why don't you write me this publicly or comment publicly? Listen up, my black viewers. You don't have to write me privately. I appreciate it when you do. But what happens is you are afraid of being called Uncle Tom. And my white viewers are afraid of being called racist. How about this? How about not being afraid and speaking truth? Yesterday, I said wait till all the facts are presented. That didn't mean I take sides with anyone. But his name was Darnell, the guy that you don't know about, he's not all over the news. He's 16 years old, he's dead, and he's precious in God's eyes. Say it with me, his name was Darnell. But you know about the person who the media is putting everywhere. But his name was Darnell. On to another topic about Minneapolis. The police officer who had his knee on the man's neck. I'm going to give some facts that I heard. And they
are unfucking coachable truths.
This police officer is responsible for the death of someone else. Another person. There are many logged complaints about this particular police officer, who is no longer a police officer. These facts came out in the past 24 hours, since yesterday's show. This officer was not prosecuted by the top prosecutor, the woman who was running for president, who currently Joe Biden is thinking of having as his vice president. She did not press charges or prosecute him. He are police abuse, excessive force, or so, I don't know the right term. She did not prosecute him. Democrat presidential candidate was a prosecutor. He already killed a man. I believe it might have been a Native American man. And now he's responsible for the death of a black man. She did not prosecute him. He slid under every single time. What is the woman's name? Amy Klobuchar? Is that her name? The woman who was running for president, who Biden now thinks is going to be his vice president. Good job, Joe Biden. Good job, Amy Klobuchar. Good job. You just let that cop slip right under. Maybe if he was stopped the first time he was charged with excessive force and abuse of power and violence, maybe if he was stopped the first time and actually prosecuted, Amy Klobuchar, this wouldn't have happened. But, now listen to me, my viewers. I'm still holding judgment until all the facts are out. That is what you do. I am modeling for you as much as I want to jump on the bandwagon, as much as I want to be angry at this and make it partisan right away, which is what Republicans will do. I am going to hold my judgment until all the facts are out. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what you should do. And with that, finish your coffee. I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show. Your home, your daily dose of sanity, clarity, and reason. Pork chops made with rosemary, a little bit of oil, avocado oil. Nice. Have some grilled veggies, zucchini. You can see that color or not. Yellow squash. Potatoes. Of course, with rosemary from the garden, from the herbs that I got a couple weeks ago. see that? Mmm. That's what's for dinner.